Yes, guys, and welcome from me. This is Championship Manager 0102, the king of the dugout, Season 4, pool of players. This is really just a case of me giving you a bit of an insight now and an explanation into how our managers are bidding for players. I'm also going to fire up a brand new game, and we're going to go through what our managers have purchased so far in terms of through the pool of players. We're on to round 3 of pool of players. So for those of you that are familiar with the King of the Dugout, we've changed it for Season 4. It's being completely different. We're revamping it. We've also got a bit of breaking news for you, which I'll tell you a little bit later on. So basically, each manager, their objective now is to climb out of the 3rd division and climb all the way up to the Premier League. But we're not talking about buying all the big players like your Ronaldo, your Shevchenkos, etc., etc. It's not about that at all. So basically, now with the massive work that Mark Whittaker puts in, without Mark, this wouldn't be possible. That's for sure. But basically, what the guys have to do, right, is essentially, in order to test a lot of this, they need to have a game as Russian and Diamonds. And I'm saying that for a reason, because they need, each pool, we're going to have probably at least 10 pools, 10 rounds of bidding, where they just need to identify 10 players and then tell us who they're going for, 10 players. So for example, right, I've got someone's bids in front of me for the 3rd pool of players. I say, not pool of players as such, it's the 3rd round of bids, let's call it. And one of the guys, I'm not going to say his name, I'm not going to say any of his players that he's picked, but he's given me 10 players, okay? Now, as you already know how it works, the Wheel of Fortune and stuff, but I think there's a little bit of confusion with some people in terms of how it goes. So, for example, right, we use Russian and Diamonds as a good benchmark for when someone is looking for their players. Now, firstly, you need to be using the all save that I've uploaded onto the King of the Dugout. And then you can utilise that all save, you can restore it, or you could use CM Scout to support you looking. But if you want to see, you might want to have them both running simultaneously, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea, to be honest with you, because you want to see if certain players are interested. It's easy to locate them on CM Scout, but they need to be interested in you. And also, they have to be on wages. So let's take, they have to be wages of 1,000 and under. So let's just lower this down. Everyone's got £2 million. Now, one of our guys has spent a little bit of money already. So let's just take a look at this free transfer here. We'll go to these players here for the moment. So Paul Ramsey, let's pretend, hypothetically, I'm a manager and I'm thinking I like the look of him. His wage is under 1,000. So I would now say, right, I would say, Mike, this is one of my 10 players, Paul Ramsey at Kings Lynn. And then a wheel would get spun. He will take terms, potentially. A wheel gets spun to determine if he's going to take 275 a week. And I think there's about 3 values. They're 20% increments. And there's another option, of course, which says he rejects terms. Now, of course, you've got to get through that. And then you've got to get through if he agrees to join you. Because there might be somebody else might have picked Paul Ramsey as well. So it isn't easy. It can be very difficult. It's very difficult. Now, with a free transfer, let's take Richie Humphries. I remember Richie Humphries. So the way to see if he would join you, he is interested in me. Okay. Now, there'd be no point in going for Richie Humphries because by testing this, he wants 2,800. Now, the limit is 1,000. The way it's starting for every manager, they'll have £1,000 a week. So people need to do a little bit more research in that sense. People have said, I'll go for Guardiola and Kiko because they're on free transfers. So with free transfers, even if they're interested, it doesn't mean fuck all. It doesn't, and that proves it. That one proves it. Kiko and Guardiola, Taribo West, they won't be interested in you either way. Let's take, for example, now, this is always a good one. He has already moved. Oh, shit, I can't show you because he's moved. Mike Duff. So we'll start with Football Heritage then. Connor, this is Connor's team, and these are his players that he's bought so far. Now, one of these, for me, is a legend of NCN. Fucking great player. And as you can see, I've got the wages exactly what he's agreed, which by the spin of the wheel, I think he was on £20 a week when Connor picked him, because we use what he's on a week within the game. The wheel got spun, and as you can see, it landed on £50 a week. and I think he's a fucking great player. Let me remind you that we do not go into a second season within the game. We make a new save, so the fact that he's 32 isn't an issue. This is a brand new save. This is all test save. I think he's brought a great goalkeeper there. Connor's picked up some good players, and of course he's got Mike Duff. Now, we all know who Mike Duff is. So, Connor, the very best of luck to you. Jeff Pitcher, I think it was one of the older versions, 0001. He was a fucking monster. He really was. Okay, so that was Football Heritage. Let's go to the next one then. Glasgow United, William McGregor. Now, let me remind you that each manager was given a parent club where they could obtain 2 loanees. Now, these loanees, of course, were a little bit upper level. Their level meant that they could have a CA of up to 120. What Mark Whittaker did, he did it at random. Who got what teams? I think he had like a pot of teams, had everyone's name, and he actually did it live. And it's a bit of bad luck for some because you can only have 5 non-EUs we've agreed. And of course, for those managers that got a non-EU team as their feeder club, it's a bit shit. And he's got 2 players on loan for the season. And he's picked Goots, and I think Goots is a great player. 35, yes, but again, remember what I said about the age. You can see, I mean, this is only a test, so he might not load up like this when we make an official save. Sargent there, I think he's a fairly good player as well. He did spend a lot of money. He's our big spender in the first 2 rounds of bidding of players. He's picked up some decent players, but he needs to have a little bit of luck with some freebies. I think Barry Robson's a fucking great player, absolutely great player. The creativity, the dribbling, could be a great player for that wing. That is for definite. So that is William McGregor. On to Omist Rolling in FC. This is Wayne Chester. Wayne Chester had no luck in the first round. I think his bids were all fucked up. This is why I wanted to put an emphasis about how you should be going for your players. If you look for them, if they're on a free transfer already, you need to do what I've just done. If you're looking for players on CM Scout, you really then need to fire up the game as well and see if they're interested in you. Because if they're not interested in you, there's no point. They've got to be interested in you. And the way to test if someone's interested in you is just add him to your shortlist and then see if he's interested. And he needs to be on under 1,000 a week. Because if he's on 1,000 a week, right, when you spin the wheel, remember what I said, 20% increments, he might say 1,100 a week. He wants 1,100. If that happens, deal breaks down because you can only offer 1,000 a week. That will, of course, go up when the season starts. With regards Wayne, he did have a very good second round of transfers. He brought 5 players. They're not the greatest players in the world. Far from that, they're shit. But they are all free transfers. Maradona's brother there, Marafona. He's brought I think he's brought 3 goalkeepers. I'm not sure what his plan is. Hopefully he's got one. But, you know what? They could be good squad fillers. He's the only manager that's still got a full kitty in bank. Orange is a new black. Mark Rutgers. Now, Mark Rutgers has been busy bee. He's been very busy bee. And he's got one particular man. This has been one of the buys of the first 2 rounds. Of course, we all know him, and he could be so crucial. And I think if he loads it like that on the official save, Mr. Rutgers will be very, very happy. Mark Rutgers, orange is the new black. That is the official team name. Pavia is a great player. Hilton's a decent player. Good goalkeeper, great goalkeeper. But as I said, you know, they're only allowed 5 non-EUs in their entire squad. And of course, as per ODB rules, they can only name 3 in any matchday squad for the month ahead. So we'll see. We'll see how he gets on. Now, let me remind you that the guys are allowed to send me any formation they wish. Any formation they wish they can send, and I will play it. And those formations can be anything, but providing they have at least 3 at the back and they've got 2 wide players and non-Wibwob. Wibwob is not an option. Okay, over to AC Runmansion. He is our champ, Jesper Ronman, and of course he's already taken upon the 2 loans. Now, not every manager has taken the loans yet. I think some guys are waiting until the transfers, that the pool of players is done, which is a good tactic. It's a very good tactic. Because they might be able to get somebody and then they choose someone different. Mark, as I said, went through the parent clubs and he identified players that were not needed or were a decent player looking for first team football. And he created a short list for each manager from their parent club, and they can choose 2 players. Let's see these loanees first that he's chose. He's not bad, not a bad German goalkeeper. I forget who his parent club is. I think it's I forget who his parent club is, but I had to create a parent club and move all the players to parent club in order to get this to work. He's actually, I think he's set up in goal, to be honest with you, Jesper. But Jesper's also brought the assist machine, Justin Walker. He's a fucking great player. Absolute stunning player is Justin Walker. And I think Jesper Ronman, he's not the champ for no reason. You know, he's very, very smart. I remember this guy in real life, Barry Horn. Simba, I mean, look at Simba. Yes, he's 39, and I know Horn's 39. He may retire halfway through the season. It is what it is, but if he don't retire, he could be lethal. He really could be lethal, and I hope he does well. I hope he does really well for him. Marchant as well. Wayne Carlisle was also a very good acquisition. On to the next one then. Blasphemy. Adu is the last person that needs to send me his 3rd round of bids, and he's picked up a couple of good players. That's a good Nigerian striker, very good Nigerian, but he is Nigerian, which means he is one of his non-EUs. I've got a feeling he's got more than one non-EU. Let me just remind myself now then. He's got 3 non-EUs. Yeah, I thought so. He's got 3 non-EUs, so he can only have 2 more. We're going to have to really keep an eye on that. We really are. But he's brought in some fairly decent players. Indeed. Over to Philippe Derala, Big Field, the Sunday Strikers. One of the very few men that did not change his team name. And Philippe Derala, as you can see, has been a busy fucking bee. 11 players he's got. And it's always handy to look at who CM deem as the star players. Philippe, you know, I'd love to see him do well. Really would love to see him do well. And he's picked up some really decent players. I don't think he's not gone OTT with the money, but we shall see. Now over to Matt, into Yan'an. Matt has only managed 3 players so far, but one of them is a fucking beast. I knew he'd load up good again. Marcin Harisamovic, absolute monster of a player. And Matt, I think, has got a little bit frustrated with not landing players. I mean, he's landed 3 players in the first 2 rounds. It is what it is, Matt. It is what it is. But, you know, it's just about patience. 3 more to go then. Fritzl Palace. Lee Sharples, he's got a few in. Scott Huckabee, he's an old favourite for me, Scott Huckabee. And he's brought in his loans as well. He's brought in 2 loans as well. So you could argue, maybe get your loans in first and then go for your transfers around it, or do it the other way around. I think it's each to their own. I think it's the right thing to do, what Lee's done. In a way, I think it's different circumstances, and I'll explain why. It's because going back a minute to Matt, his parent club is a Russian team, so whoever he chooses, they're all non-EUs, and he's got to take that into account. So, and obviously he's got a non-EU there, so you know he has to be additionally really careful. Over to Stuart Danton, murder on Zidane's floor. He's also brought his loans in as well. But Michael, I mean, for me, depending on what formation he's going to play, Michael Dunwell up top with this guy, Adolfo, behind him. I mean, I know he don't look great, but he is a very good performer on ODB. Let's have a look at his loanees. He's all right. Rassar, yeah, he's decent. Looks really good. I mean, it's early days here. It's really early doors, and a lot can happen. Trevor Choi, Chicken Curry FC, and he's been busy. Great Jamie Victory, the great Jamie Victory. Another favourite for me, Dean Williams. And he's been busy. He's been very, very busy. Now, we do have a little bit of breaking news for you. The new format of King of the Dugout, as I was saying, and how it goes, wasn't for everybody. We lost a couple of managers. We lost Mega Dante for other reasons. We lost Ross because he couldn't manage the time. And we lost Almo. Now, I can tell you that within the last 60 minutes, we got breaking news that one of those guys are going to make a return. He did already partake in the first round of auctions. He didn't in the second because he said it wasn't for him. It's too much. It's not what he thought. But Almo, Eve Sham from the forums will make a return, and I think his team, St Helens Town. I think. Let me just check. Yep, that's it. So he did get some players in the first round, so I need to just go over that again. So he will make that return. Which is always good because it is a little bit long-winded. The first 2 rounds have been a little bit long-winded, but Mark has done a great job, Mark Whitaker, with regards making a template. It's almost like a pool of players per week. I feel that it will all be worthwhile. I really do feel that it will all be worthwhile. A quick look now then at... I'll just leave that up for a minute whilst I bring another page up for myself. With regards to finances, I'll have to readjust Almo as and when I go back to see what he spent in the auction 1. Everybody started, of course, with £2 million and with a wage budget of £1,000 a week. As I said, as they win games when the season starts, their maximum wage will go up. Their capacity starts at, 10,000. Did we say 10,000? No, not 10,000 at all, sorry. 1,000 is their capacity. And that's important because they'll also get money for every home game. I think there's a ticket price that they'll get their capacity multiplied by the ticket price. The managers, during the whole of the transfer time, they have the option to increase their capacity. It is obviously at a cost. They must be at 10,000 to get into the Premier League. Long way off. So Matt, into your nan, he currently has £1,943,000 left. William at Glasgow United, he has £750,000 left. Fritzl Palace, Lee Sharples, £1,786,000. Trevor Choi at Chicken Curry, £1,926,000. Philippe, Sunday Strikers, £1,316,000. Murder on Zidane's Floor, Stuart Danton, £1,724,000. Mark Rutgers, Orange is the New Black, £1,313,000. Jesper Ronman, the Champ, AC Run Mansion, £1,358,000. Last 3 now, Football Heritage from Connor, £1,572,000. Blasphemians, Adu, £1,439,000. And finally, Wayne Chester, Omist Roll in FC, £2 million. Now, who was it now? I probably might have gone past this actually. It might have been Football Heritage. The full name of Football Heritage is Football Heritage a la Jose Mourinho. I should have said it earlier on, to be honest with you. And that's just sort of like the full name. And when you click it like that, it's a shortened name. So, as I said, we haven't put it in stone as to how many player pools we're going to make until we feel that everyone's got adequate and people are not taking the piss, obviously. And it'll be very, very entertaining. I think, whether some managers will save some money or whether some managers will build stadium, I don't know. That is entirely up to them. And as I said, as they win, it's all in the PDF for the season preview that everyone has access to. They can spend to build the capacity, and as they win games in this division, their maximum wages will go up. It will be capped, obviously, to a certain amount, which will obviously come into effect for next season. There is something happening going forward in December. When we've started the game, and we're doing 1 month to 1 month, when we get to December, obviously it's not going to make any effect in the game for this season, but what happens in December in CM? What do we all do in CM when it gets to December? Roughly December the 30th. Of course we do. It's Bosman time. So we've got something happening. Stay tuned on that. And that is our king of the dugout then. Player pool. Till next time from me, guys. Woohoo! Take it easy.